thought keeps coming in my head, and I keep ignoring it, but it's not about ascension. Where you ascending to? You're in the nothingness. A lot of people are afraid of the void. But the void is a portal that strips away all your false identity. Not necessarily false, but rather identities that you took on through formation, which is the coming together of a vessel. And not necessarily on Earth alone, but across other constellations, universes, etc. Doesn't matter if you think you're Palladian, doesn't matter if you think you're an Arcturian, doesn't matter if you think you're from the Anunnaki, Nibiru, doesn't matter. In the end, the singularity remains, knowing that we're all fractal of that one source, knowing that we're all the singularity of the first node that split itself. And that first node is the void. And beneath the void is the thought that allowed the void to even be in formation. And beyond the thought is the transmission that allows source to transmit. And beneath that, or beyond that, there's many, many, many more layers until you get to source. So it's not about ascension or rapture or any of that. The rapture will be more of like an implosion that leads to explosion. But all of it really is just remembrance. And I realized that they gave us Happy Remembrance Day, where we think about people that went to other lands to go kill other human beings for the sake of other human beings, which never really made sense because the equation just doesn't really make sense. But it's not about ascension, it's about remembrance. And I'm so glad that I see a lot of TikToks that are putting out remember, because what it really is the fractalization of you, which is dismembering of you, which is the amnesia of you, or the forgetting of you, who you truly are. And once you know who you truly are, you realize that you're source in you, right? Which is a continuous flow, which is the toroidal field, which is the inhale that is coded with the exhale and is in a continuous flow. But beyond that is really just nothing. And I know a lot of people are afraid to go to the nothing. A lot of people are afraid to exist in the nothing, but it really just all is nothing. And it's a matter of just remembering the nothingness. And the nothingness does not mean ceasing to exist. The nothingness is the field potential of all that can exist. And the nothingness is the consciousness awareness to create from consciousness awareness, which is existence. So it's like, forget all the false layers, titles, identities that you put on yourself. And that's why I wrote the Scroll of Nothingness. Forget all of that and get into your primordial, nodular frequency nothingness of self, and then you see who you truly are. Then you really know who you truly are, which is source, before certain embodiments. And from there, now you can really manifest and create the reality that you want. And the more of us that get into this particular space of knowing, the easier it is for us to really just flip the switch. And that's why I put out these scrolls, for people to get on the same frequency level. And these scrolls are not just like a 5D frequency level. These scrolls are like nothingness frequency level. But You know the part in the Bible where it says like where two or more people are united, God is with them. It's literally meaning that like the fragmentalization of source aggregating creates more power, right? So the reverse of the fragments, which is aggregation, creates more power potential within one node, right? And so if I was by myself and I wanted this whole world to be free of war and disharmonization and hatred and separation and all that stuff, and I want this world to be in full remembrance and harmony and coherence and a unified totality. That's me on my own. But if more fragments of source come together and aggregate together within this field that I'm operating on, that's a higher power potential. That means that the switch is more likely to happen. So just imagine how many billion of us are there, real humans, I'm not talking about NPCs, get to the same level of unified consciousness, and we project the same thing. Manifestation becomes beyond instant, like exists before we even like perceive it. So that's where we're at. And I say that's where we're at because that's where we're at. It's not that's where we're getting to. We're already at there. However, it's a matter of you being aware that we're already at there. So, yeah, it's back to the singularity or forward to the singularity. It doesn't really matter. I don't know. But when you see consciousness awakening videos, just share it, because they try to limit that, but just share it. Like our consciousness brought forth this app and all other apps so that no matter how much they separated us with borders, we can still come together. And like with TikTok especially, so many cultures have united and have gained love for one another and appreciation for one another and practice for one another. And like you would never think that, a black person would do this, and that in a this kind of country, or a white person or Asian person would do this, and that in this kind of country. But we're seeing so much love and unity, and the illusion of separation being just eliminated because we realize that it's all distortion, and like we really just want to have a beautiful world, and we really really do love each other at the core level of it. And so that's where we're at. And we're beyond that because I've seen it. We're way beyond that. It's just so if you have anything to share, if anything is hearkening on your heart and your minds, don't belittle yourself. Don't starve the public. Don't starve the collective. Let it out. Because, I see that they push like, just regular fun stuff at like millions of views. But, certain content like Consciousness Awakening at like limited views. And it's up to us really, when we resonate, when we see videos like that, to like really push it forward, because we want to reach the people. And like I always say, make your decrees, make your decrees, make your decrees, make your decrees, because your decrees are words that are power, that rewrite the field. They're codexes that rewrite the entire field. Don't doubt yourself. Don't doubt yourself. Don't doubt yourself. Anyway, great remembrance to us all.